Hello and welcome back. And just want to talk about the parent-child relationship for a moment. And the way I see it is we are helping our children to stand up and to start to walk, and we're holding them up, and then they start to walk. They start to walk even faster, they start to run. And we might like to be beside them and be on that path, that journey that they're on, and to mention which direction they should go in, because we've walked a path already. Tell them what's harmful, what's not harmful, what's going to get you into trouble. And this is a wonderful thing for a parent to be able to do, to walk beside their child and be like a friend to them. I think it's a wonderful thing when we have a belief in God, where we know that everybody is created by our Maker, and so they have value. We know that God made them for a great purpose, and that goes for everybody. Doesn't matter how old you are. And so when we look at our children, we see them as being very valuable, and that they will be needed in this world to do great good. And they might walk far more and to greater heights than we ever did. And we have to be prepared to let them achieve more than us. Sometimes parents, they like to compare the journey that their children are on to their own a bit too much, to the point where they can't let go of that, and everything is marked by their own journey. And this is a mistake, because your children can achieve far more than you did. So you can teach them some things, you can teach them from your mistakes, for example, but then there are other people that can teach them also, as everybody's lived a different life and they've got lessons to learn. And so that interaction becomes very important to your children, that they engage and learn from close people, family, loved ones, teachers. And so I thought it was a very important thing to mention. I find it just fascinating how the companions of our beloved Prophet ﷺ, and he was blessed to have thousands of companions. May Allah be pleased with all of them. And they would be by his side, and some of them, many of them, were very young, and they had high goals, and they achieved so much at a young age. Sometimes we feel that our children are not ready to do this or that, and sometimes we need to let them experience, and let them achieve things and develop. Sure, there's a great role in assisting that and guiding that. You know, something in our tradition, it's difficult to learn knowledge without a teacher, a great teacher, and that brings the best out of an individual. And as parents, we are like teachers. We are allowing our children to experiment good things, not bad things, good things, and to talk about and evaluate and assess. And this conversation needs to be happening in the house, where our children are able to breathe and to ask questions and at their own rate. I mean, many parents will say things such as, stop talking, when they are interested. You know, I used to work in deliveries, and a man came to the door, and when what seemed like a 1-year-old or a 2-year-old came to the door to see who's there, you know, he did something which it really affected my heart. He just tapped her. This very young girl just tapped her away with his hand. Tapped her on the forehead. Go on, get back in. I just found that really, I don't know how to describe it. It was just so inhumane in some ways, because he could have just said, look, it's the delivery man. You know, it was so easy to do that. And you know, sometimes we wonder why our children are closed up sometimes, and they really need to be welcomed by us as a parents. That's a perfect example of how a child wants to develop and she's being stopped by her own family member. So yeah, I just thought that was an important thing to mention right now, as we're going to be talking a lot more about raising children and growth and confidence. But to start with, everybody needs the opportunity, and they need people to support them on their journey. So that's enough of me rambling on. Let's talk about these tiles. So we've started it. We've got the mixture ready now for some more. Made a mistake here. Had to rip it off. Made the terrible mistake of using a hammer to get it into position. And that's because I made this mixture too watery to begin with, and then as it began to set, it became thicker and thicker, and then the last tile I couldn't move it. And so really important to have a good start, and so that all the tiles are in place and it's not moving to the left or the right. And that's why we made the markings, which you can still see on the floor. You can see there, as you can see. And so I will crack on with this, and I hope that was beneficial for all of us, and I will see you next time.